So, they say the Earth is spinning at hundreds of thousands of miles per hour around itself, around the sun. The sun is traveling at crazy speed around the universe. The universe is also traveling at crazy speed around wherever, infinity, and we don't notice a thing. And we can put a house of cards and it doesn't fall. And I don't even get my hair uncombed. And the buildings don't fall. That's all suspicious, okay? But I'm gonna give you something more suspicious than that. How come we always see the same stars, the same constellations in the sky for thousands of years, because people have been documenting the stars for thousands of years, and we always see the same stars if we're spinning and spinning and spinning and traveling with all those, around the Earth, around the sun around the universe around whatever it's going around. We always see the same stars every night for thousands of years. That doesn't add up, guys. They lied to us.
NASA is Hollywood. It's just Disney for adults. Everything you see in the supposed International Space Station can be easily reproduced in studios.
In fact, all of their footage is done in film studios. NASA has studios bigger than Hollywood. They even rent their facilities to movie companies.
Space is fake. The Earth is flat.
This is big. We have a major update on the mini space race to the moon between Russia and India. Luna 25, which is Russia's first attempt to land on the moon since 1976, just crashed into the moon. Over the last few weeks, both Russia and India were racing to be the first country to soft land near the lunar South Pole. Russia's mission was expected to land one day before India's. Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, said that while they were entering the spacecraft into a pre-landing orbit, an emergency occurred on the space probe that did not allow it to perform the maneuver in accordance with the required parameters. And then they said that it ceased to exist as a result of a collision with the lunar surface.
This is all fake. Rockets don't really go to space. Space is fake. Once they have laundered all that money from taxpayers, they just claimed the mission was lost. How convenient.
So everybody's just okay with Russia having an unmanned spacecraft that crashed into the moon yesterday. Everybody good with that. It just spiraled out of control. Nobody's driving. It just spiraled out of control and just hit the moon. And we good? Everybody good? Oh, y'all ain't heard about it? Roll clip.
Russia's Luna 25 spacecraft has apparently crashed into the moon after it spun into an uncontrolled orbit. Now, this is according to Russia's space agency. A little earlier, it reported an abnormal situation that occurred to the spacecraft when it was preparing a pre-landing orbit. Now, Luna 25 was scheduled to land on the South Pole of the moon tomorrow.
Well, as long as y'all good, I'm good. I guess life goes on. Have a great day.
Because I ain't stupid. I believe in science instead of some religious BS. Well, if you'd like to hear some facts, I can give them to you, and I can assure you that my distrust in NASA, this government agency, goes far beyond what you call religious BS. And let me tell you this, Satan does not want me posting this video. I have tried 4 separate times now. Maybe 5's the lucky number. But let's proceed with some facts that for me personally, has caused me to not trust NASA, anything that they say or anything that they do. And before I post this, let me just say, to those who don't believe in God because you can't see him, you're putting in a lot of faith into scientists that you have never met, and on research that you are just regurgitating from these people on things that you have never seen with your own eyes. But you are putting a lot of faith into NASA. Also, NASA is a religion only based on theories at that. However, let's proceed into a few reasons why I don't trust NASA that has nothing to do with their CGI photos, videos, etc., etc. For one, do you know what this is a picture of? This is a picture of a man who was tested upon chemical warfare while he was in the service, which NASA took part in along with several other government agencies. 70 years ago, he was tested upon and his skin is still falling off and is completely scarred. In December of 1993, a second set of secret documents was released by the federal government, this time by the new Energy Secretary, Hazel O'Leary. They confirmed some of the worst fears of those who had been labeled paranoid and conspiratorialists a short time earlier. Experiments on unwilling and frequently uninformed test subjects, often African Americans and other minority groups, were performed by agencies as diverse as the CIA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, NASA, the Pentagon, and the Public Health Service. Some subjects were injected with plutonium, others were intentionally placed in close proximity to nuclear bomb tests and monitored to observe the effects. The experiments were top secret, run by the government in conjunction with private institutions. The fact that NASA was doing mustard gas experiments with the CIA and the military was a big red flag for me. All of these experiments, not just this one, were done in secret and weren't recorded on the subject's official military records. Most do not have proof of what they went through. They received no follow-up health care or monitoring of any kind, and they were sworn into secrecy about the tests under threat of dishonorable discharge and military prison time, leaving majority of them to not seek any health care of any kind. And what does the DoD have to say about this? The first thing to be very clear about this is that the Department of Defense does not conduct chemical weapons testing any longer. And I think we have probably come as far as any institution in America on race. Really? Okay. Even once the program was declassified, however, the race-based experiments remained largely a secret until a researcher in Canada disclosed some of the details in 2008. Susan Smith, a medical historian at the University of Alberta in Canada, published an article in the Journal of Law, Medicine and Ethics. Everyone on TikTok wants to fight about an Jason Aldean song, but no one really knows. No one has dug in their research of who's to blame for this mess and who the real predators are. It's not the citizens. It's a little higher up than that. Another red flag for me is, oh, look at that. How interesting. Is that all of these astronauts are producers and actors as well, along with majority of our government, majority of those agenda pushers. It's all intertwined, you guys. CIA, Hollywood, NASA, Big Pharma, they're all intertwined. Do some digging into cover-up stories that NASA did for our government. Listen to this one very closely. Even though Congress's intention in forming NASA was to establish purely civilian space agency according to David's combination of circumstances led by the agency, to commingle its activities with black programs operated by the U.S. military and intelligence community. They've been doing this a long time. And what you also will find interesting is when NASA joined the CIA, or when the CIA joined NASA, however it happened, was during the time that they were conducting MK-Ultra experiments on people. Because in 1965, the CIA and NASA agreed to establish 8 joint CIA-NASA advisory panels that would meet once or twice a year. Aside from NASA joining in to our government's chemical warfare experiments on civilians and military members, you should also research Project Flicker. NASA employees were caught buying child pornography from a criminal ring in Eastern Europe that distributed images of minors as young as 3, it can be revealed. An investigation by Daily Mail Online found staff members from space agencies that paid for pictures and videos of children in sexual situations, but were never prosecuted. Their names have never been released because of government guidelines which protect their privacy. Could you imagine having that kind of security clearance. In 2010, the employees paid for pornography using personal credit cards or PayPal while working for the government. Their actions were uncovered during Project Flicker, an investigation by the FBI and ICE into American citizens buying child pornography from Belarus and Ukraine. And what's even more interesting is Senator Grassley's interview with Anderson Cooper. Check that one out. The investigation began in 2007 when more than 33,000 images of minors being abused flooded into the country. And it was our national security, NASA, and government employees, 5,200 in total, who took part in this. And you want me to trust them with my faith? I will not. If you want to believe that in 1984 some dude in a jetpack flew around space, go for it. I'm not falling for it. By the way, where's the land? The last picture at least had water. Think of what you're believing. This is a dummy. This is a space dummy. That is not a real face in there. You also want me to believe that they have been inside the sun, that they know the sounds and scents of other planets, and that they can see 13 billion light years away, while our security cameras can't even make out the face of someone who just raped a child. I'm not falling for this. Provide us with some security cameras that actually will do something for humanity, and maybe I'll give it a go. But my distrust in this organization goes far beyond religious BS. You know, we have a saying, us religious losers, us uneducated, that you can tell who a person is by the fruit that they bear. And the fruit that they bear is evil, my kind sir. They want you to believe that creation is nothing, that there has got to be something greater, something more, because they have dumbed us down so much that we don't even recognize what we hold. However, despite what our government wants us to believe, I believe that we are a divine creation and we are meant for so much more than filling their pockets. We are all over Saturn right now. Saturn's North Pole is a hexagon. We are right inside of there. Look at that. Legit photo from NASA. Doesn't look CGI at all. Not whatsoever. This is one of my faves. A stunning image of the crescent Earth seen from the moon, captured by NASA's Orion spacecraft. A crescent Earth. Man, that sand looks like you could just... looks so smooth, doesn't it? No footprints. No tire marks. Just smooth moon sand. Also a good one. Full moon from the International Space Station. Looks like an egg to me. Which brings me to my next point. When have you ever seen an explosion cause perfect circles? So perfect, in fact, that they can cancel each other out during an eclipse. You want me to believe that the sun is outside of the firmament? No, it is not. The sun is inside the firmament. That's how it was all designed. Where do you think they got the idea for a baby mobile, bro? Think about that one. It might make me look stupid. I don't really care, obviously. But I feel like I would look a lot more stupid if I believed in people who are doing atrocious things to humanity while humanity paid for the beds they sleep in at night, considering it is the highest paid organization by federal taxes, in which Biden wants to increase their budget by 8% to almost $26 billion per year. NASA's budget request for fiscal year 2022 reflects a topical range of priorities. The four highlighted priorities are: they get paid by Congress, by the way, addressing the climate crisis nationally and internationally, restoring America's global standing, promoting racial and economic equality. I find that irony, considering the tests that they did. No, it's a no for me.
Globetards think Superman is real and that he can really fly.
Yes, dear, Globetards believe CGI animation is real. They think NASA is sending real photographs of Earth while they are just creating them in Photoshop. For example, Globetards will think this guy is really doing push-ups with 2 fingers only.